Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment. So, sis, you are up first this week. What do you have?
Yes. So what I want to talk about is some movie that everybody was highly excited about it coming out, but it was not what everybody expected it was going to be. And I want to talk about Devil Wears Prada 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Did not see that.
If you don't know the cast, I'll go through it really quick. So you have Meryl Streep as Miranda. Anne Hathaway plays Andy. You have Emily Blunt that plays Emily. Well, one of the Emilys. You have Stanley Tucci, who plays Nigel. Kenneth Branagh, who plays Stuart, who is the love interest of Miranda. And you have Tracy Thoms, who plays Lily, who is the best friend of Andy, who's in this. Some other people that are newer to the cast is Simone Ashley. You may know her from the second Bridgerton. She was actually the love interest of the guy who was on Wicked.
I can't recall.
Yeah, one of the Bridgerton boys' love interest. She plays Amari. You have Caleb Heron, which I love him. He is hilarious. He plays Charlie, who is one of the I think he's one of the assistants. He's the second assistant, and he can do nothing but sit at his desk and answer phones and emails. He is not allowed to go to the bathroom. He is not allowed to do anything. He just stays there. And then you have Helen J. Shin, who plays Jen, who ends up being the assistant for Andy once she gets into her new position. So those are the main characters that you're going to get now.
A lot of people. It feels like a bigger cast this time than last time.
It is yes and no. I think there's a lot of inclusivity. The cast is not all white like it was before. But I see the inclusivity happening. So it's like a transitional type thing. So how I see it is the last movie was about fashion. So, Miranda was what's the lady's name? Anna Wintour.
Anna Wintour, yeah.
Yes, she was the Anna Wintour of fashion.
Okay.
And how it was like everything that she said and everything that she did was what fashion was. Right. Now in this new age, it's been 20 years. So now in this new age, they have the Runway magazine. The Runway magazine is no longer a magazine. Now it's all online. So with it being online, fashion changes drastically because now it's just not a few designers that are the top people that you're going to be wearing. Now they have collaborations with social media designers who they do like the social media designers are designing their own things, putting it online. And then other people are like, oh my God, I like that. I want to wear something like that. And then as people are seeing that happen, now these big designers are like, hey, I want to collab with you. Like, I don't even know. It's kind of like, what is that? The runway show. What was that runway show?
Sorry, Project Runway.
Yeah, like Project Runway is, but instead of it being on TV, it's like you can see how the person is doing everything all on social media. So that is what's changed about this second movie. So definitely rewatch the first one. Unless you're a big fan and you definitely want, like you already know everything about the first one, then you don't have to rewatch it. I didn't remember some stuff. I had to like YouTube it, figure out some information about some things I forgot, basically. But yeah, rewatch the first film. And like I said, it's not so much about fashion itself. It is about the change in the fashion world as well as the change in who controls fashion now. So,
and in real life, has it been 20 years?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, like, cause she says like, oh yeah, I haven't done this. She was like, oh yeah, the last time that she saw me or I was over here was 2006.
Yeah. Wow.
And then you realize, oh, it's been 20 years. Time flies.
Crazy. Like I would have thought 12, maybe, not 20.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, because magazines are not such a big thing, everything is online now. It shows the difference in the transition of that, and how the industry has changed. It also goes into journalism, how journalism now is being controlled by the powers that be, and you can't just be a journalist and talk about whatever you want to talk about anymore. So it goes into that. I mean, it is not fashion. This is not a fashion movie.
Do you think that played a part in why it wasn't as much of a success as people assumed it would be, because it was too
Okay, so the last movie was basically a open door, like a behind the scenes of the fashion side, the Anna Wintour, and what she all has to deal with, and how she calls the shots.
Yeah.
Now it is everybody else calls the shots, and Miranda is just there being like, "Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, it's okay." But she doesn't call the shots anymore. Everybody else, the world calls the shots, and she just has to get in with somebody who she likes, basically. So it's basically a movie about the change in the fashion industry as the change in the fashion industry is happening right now.
Yeah. So I can see, because that's no longer the devil wears Prada, because she's no longer the devil. The devil is who now? The devil is the industry. I mean, the outside influence.
The devil, she is still the devil, because she still is
she's still Miranda.
Yes. So like basically Andy, who is Anne Hathaway's character, she ends up losing her journalism job while receiving an award for journalism. And not only did she lose the job, but her whole entire department lost their job, all sitting at a table through a text message. So they all got the message. They're all looking at each other, and then they're like, "Okay, Andy Sachs," and she's just like, and she has to put down her phone and go up and do this, thanking speech. But then she goes into how she's so upset that the powers that be are running journalism. You can't be a journalist anymore. She was like, all of us at this table just got fired over a text because another big company decided to buy our company that did away with us. Yeah. Because they did not know they did not like the way that we
did our journalism.
We journalized. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So is that, like I said, fashion is now not a thing as much. Like I said, it's more a social media. You have all of these fashion people. Like there are people on YouTube who go around and see people in the city and it's like, hey, can I see some of your top 5 wardrobes? You take us to your apartment and show us your top 5 wardrobes. And then you go into these people's apartments and you're like, how did they even think about this? Like, where did they get this from? Oh, they designed this. And it's like things that you would see on a runway or would really look good at, what is it, Fashion Week in France or wherever it is. So that's how things have changed. And like I said, there's where people now get collabs with designers.
Well, and you have to think, excuse me, you have to think too, now it's influencers more, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There weren't as many influencers. It was like Paris Hilton. But now it's like everybody with Instagram or a TikTok account can be an influencer and market and sell. And they're famous.
Yeah, you don't need the magazine anymore in order to sell your things or showcase. The internet does that for you.
Everybody's a paying account.
Yeah, that is the main thing of how the magazine runway was no longer a thing now. Now it was like something like what is that? Is it Elle magazine that does like one book featured per year or something like that? It's like pretty thick.
Maybe that or Vanity Fair or something.
Vanity Fair. It might be Vanity Fair who does like one book that's like pretty thick. It might be like 200 and something pages. And then they put it out and that is what it is, but everything else is all online. Yeah. So that is a big thing of Miranda being like, well, we got this book thing that we're putting out, but nobody's really buying it because everything's online. So, like I said, not a fashion movie. The fashion in the movie is good, but it is not just about fashion. This is now the behind the scenes of how fashion industry has changed.
Okay.
I will tell you this. I fell asleep on it twice. Now, the reason I fell asleep on it twice was because once I started watching, I was like, oh, this is not the same as the last one. And that's what I thought it was going to be like, picking up from that, not realizing that actually it is picking up from that 20 years later. And it is actually now the movie. It is the movie of the time that we have now. You can't make a movie 20 years later about something that happened in the past when the world is changing right now. But no, I'm saying like the way that the world's changing right now, because everybody has changed.
Everybody's grown. There's new technology. There's everything's so different. Got it.
So why I say it is good is because if you're not going into it thinking of Devil Wears Prada 1 and being like, oh, the fashion design area and things like that, if you don't go into it thinking that, but you go into it thinking how fashion has changed throughout the generations, then it's a great movie.
Yeah, but most people who were begging for another version of Devil Wears Prada wanted the same, I would assume. Like they wanted more of the same.
Yeah, but how do you make the same? This is 20 years later of the exact same.
Well, but it's not the same because they could have gone into more of the fashion today based on all the influence. Like I think most of the people were interested in it because of the fashion, not the editorial, not the journalism part, not blah, blah, blah. It was like, okay, but let's talk about the fashion now. Let's talk about the fact that, Beyonce's fashion line and how that impacted things, or Rihanna's fashion line, like all these, I don't know, whoever has fashion lines, but how do all of these outside influences of rock music and country music and whatever all impact that? And you have a whole group of people now who are buying cowboy boots and, hats because Beyonce had a country album. And
that's true. But
so I guess they could have mixed that in and maybe it would have done better and been more acclaimed than what they got, because people went in with the mindset of, I know what Devil Wears Prada is. And this sounds like, from your explanation, I haven't seen it, that it could have been named anything, journalism movie or movie with Meryl Streep in it.
Okay.
It didn't need to be Devil Wears Prada.
So I was thinking with Devil Wears Prada is the movie was all about Miranda, the Anna Wintour character.
Yeah, it was. It was about that and educating Andy on fashion and how to do it in her and Tucci.
Correct. Now, the fast forward is Andy has learned everything about fashion. And now the change that Miranda is going through with Runway and with the magazine Runway and the entire company and all of the transition that is happening is Devil Wears Prada 2. So if you wanted to just be fashion, then it wouldn't be Devil Wears Prada. It would be like Andy Sachs and Company.
Okay, got it. So like would the viewers, not giving anything away, but would the viewers get satisfaction of Andy kind of having to, not Andy, Miranda having to say, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to retire because I need to just get out of here because this is all not, I have no influence anymore. My whole thing was wanting the power and being that person. So if she were, to say, oh, well, end of the movie was I quit and I'm just going to go live my life and be nice and sweet and kind to everybody. Like
there is a happy medium. Sorry, I got a fruit fly in here because I've been cutting all the vegetables today from the garden.
For anybody who's just listening, she's doing some karate chops over there.
Yeah, it's like one fruit fly has been following me around all day.
Okay.
And it's just the one, and I see him right there. Anyway. So, yes, with Miranda's, the thing is with Miranda's character, she is actually seeing that she's no longer needed for the magazine because she's like, there is no magazine to sell online.
Right.
Now I want to go up here and I want to be this over this. So now she's talking to Irv and being like, hey, Irv, look, this is what you wanted me to do. This is what I want to do. But then there are some things that happen where things get released about the company, about the Runway company. And I don't know if it's just the company itself or if it's the whole umbrella that the company is under.
Okay.
But some things that end up knocking her back, and it's like, now we don't have a way to fix this. What are we going to do? And then that's when Andy comes into play as the features editor of Runway. So it's so cute how it comes up. Andy loses her job, gets a phone call, and now it's like, do I want to do this? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, at least now with this position, I can then be able to hire all the people that were sitting at that table with me and we can go ahead and do our own kind of journalism that will go with the magazine that is now online. And she was going back and forth with that. Now, when she does go and pops up, she goes to Miranda. She was like, oh my God, like, I didn't think that this was going to happen. It's been so long. And Miranda's like, Nigel, who is this?
Yeah, who are you? That's what I was thinking. How would Miranda remember?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you don't remember? She's one of the Emilys. And she's like, huh. And just kind of like, I don't remember her. But then you realize she does remember her, but she has to have this persona.
Yes, she has to be the mean girl.
Yes, she has to be because, and what I think she does state it in the movie later on. I have to be this person because if I am not this person at all times, then I'll lose it. I have to go into a room full of people that are going to try to talk over me, overshadow me and everything. She's like, and if I'm not this person, then nobody listens. So she's always this person.
Oh, that's got to be.
Now she has just turned into this person, and it's hard for her to not be this person anymore. Yeah. But she does have glimpses, like when she's with her boyfriend, husband, whatever he is. She has these times where she is now just Miranda at home.
That's amazing.
And then there are times where she will give okay, that was good. And then be like, okay, now leave my office. You know, like she sees, oh, I'm being nice. I got to stop that immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That just shows she's never been her authentic self at work.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like she couldn't be. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people are like that in corporate America too. Yeah. I'll see someone do their personality assessment. And then because I was in HR and I'd see it and I'd be like, wait, your personality assessment says you're sunshiny yellow. Like, hi, everybody. Can't wait to do da-da-da-da-da-da. But at work, you're like, bump, 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 bump. Yep. So they have beaten that into you to the point that, like you said, I'm not going to be taken seriously if I come into a room sunshiny yellow. So I have to be fiery red and
yes, that is true.
Analytical blue in order for me to make sure that people take me seriously. Yeah. So, all right. Well, interesting. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So it's just, it is not about fashion because like I said, the first movie was Miranda. It was Andy wanting to be a journalist, but going into the fashion industry, not knowing anything about it and learning about fashion.
Yeah.
Now, you were learning about the industry itself because she's already in the industry. So now you're learning about the industry itself, the people who are in the industry. You even have Emily Blunt, and she is now, what is she? She is the ad executive of a high power luxury group that Miranda actually has to go to her and ask her for help.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine?
Yeah. And now Emily's sitting there thinking like the amount of times you threw your jacket at me, the amount of times you told me that the coffee that I bring you, this exact same coffee was wrong. Now she's like, oh no, we want 6 pages of an ad inside of this. And we want this and we want blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, no, it's not happening. She's like, okay, now I'm going to have to change this all up and I can make it more from what I want. So it's just the fashion industry and not the fashion. Movie 1, fashion. Movie 2, the fashion industry.
Gotcha. Okay. No, so sounds good.
It is a good movie if you're not going into it thinking that it's going to be about fashion.
Well, if you go into it thinking about Miranda getting a little bit of payback, then that's some of it that you get, it sounds like, with her dealing with that Emily. And maybe not feeling like she, can continue to have the same level of power. So,
so I think the people will like it if they realize this is not fashion. This is the fashion industry.
Right. Okay. We got it.
Yeah. All right. That's all I had. So that was The Devil Wears Prada 2. You can find it on Hulu. Yeah.
All right. So what I have, and I'm so excited about, is Ted Lasso's back.
Teddy is back. That is right.
I'm so excited that Ted Lasso is back. I don't know, right? Okay, so my sister is doing this dance from when Jason Sudeikis was on Saturday Night Live with What's Up With That. What's up with that? If you've never seen that, don't stop right now. But after this podcast, go to YouTube and look up What's Up With That SNL and see him with his red jogging suit on, track suit, doing his dances. Now, first of all, he can dance. Second of all, the dances that he does crack you up. And he'll do it slow motion, he'll speed it up, and he's doing the Running Man. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. So anyway, Jason Sudeikis, I feel like I really love him, number one, but he seems like the Ted Lasso character and his character on Saturday Night Live and all that. Like, it just seems like he's a genuinely nice person. Like, he would be somebody that you would say, okay, even if I had to have dinner with this stranger, because I don't know him, we could have a great conversation, talk about things. And, you know, I would leave saying, man, I feel like I just made a new friend, because that just seems like who he is. So anyway, so Jason Sudeikis, he plays Ted Lasso. Going through the cast, you have Hannah Waddingham, who I talked about last time or a couple of times ago with Ride or Die. Did I talk about Ride or Die? Maybe I didn't talk about Ride or Die.
No, I don't think we did talk about Ride or Die. I think we were going to have to talk about Ride or Die.
The storm came through, right? So I'll talk about Ride or Die today. So Hannah Waddingham plays Rebecca Welton. You have Jeremy Swift, who plays Leslie Higgins. They mainly call him Higgins. You have Juno Temple, who plays Keely Jones. You have Ted Lasso's wife or ex-wife. I can't remember if they're wife or ex-wife, but anyway, played by Andrea Anders, and she plays Michelle Lasso. And then his son is Henry, and he is played by Grant Feely. So that's kind of where we are right now. And I'll just say Mathis, who is, I don't know what he is, Swedish or Amsterdam or somewhere, like the Netherlands. And he is the boyfriend of Hannah. So I think it was the Netherlands where she went to and met him. So anyway, I only have one episode to talk about, so it won't be a long conversation, but so cute. I like it. So basically, it starts off with Ted Lasso working at a grocery store. So he is going through, like, you got to think, he was literally the coach of the, Richmond football team out in London. And now he's working at the front, kiosk, And have you watched it yet? I didn't ask you if you had watched
I did watch the first episode, and I'll be right back because I have to go get some water.
Okay. So I'll just talk to you all while she goes away. How about that? So long story short, what ends up happening is that I watched that, and it was great because of the fact that he's doing all of the kiosk scanning, and then actually one of his old players from regular football, not football, because football is life, but one of the regular players from football, he actually comes in and he's like, oh my gosh, honey, you got to meet him. He's like the number one guy that, it's like my mentor. I look up to him so much and all of this. And his wife is like, really? The guy who's now working at the grocery store, like that's the person that you have as your mentor. And so what else happens is that he sees a young kid in the store stealing something. And so he plays this whole elaborate scheme to get the kid to stop stealing without telling the kid that he caught him stealing, to the point that even the owner of the store, the manager, was like, and why did I see you going around stealing a bunch of stuff in the store earlier today? He was like, oh, I learned my lesson. Somebody put me straight. And yeah, you won't see that happen with me again. You're like, okay, Ted would never steal stuff intentionally. So, but he goes home because he finds out his son is doing something terrible in school, just being so bad at school. And when you find out what it is, you're like, seriously, people, like this is what you get upset about and have to call his parents in for. So I digress. The parents kind of chuckled because they didn't get it either. And then what ends up happening is he gets home after that. And lo and behold, who's outside his home but all of the people from jolly old London.
But it was funny the way they did it. And they were all stepping out slow motion. I was like, that's Rebecca's shoe. Oh, that's Keely's shoe. And I was like, is that Higgins?
Because he's
gotta be Higgins. I was like, is that going to be Higgins, or is that going to be Nate, or is that going to be the other coach? Like, who is this?
Nate, I forgot his name. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw that, and then they were like, did he not see us?
Was it Beard? What was his name? It was something like
Beard. Coach Beard. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like, did he not see us just now standing right here? It was so funny how that happened. Yeah. I knew it was going to happen that way. It was cute.
Yeah, I figured as much. I was like, he's probably knows that that's them and he's just going to do something, to make them sweat. And so he takes them out and they get to experience the United States in this first episode. So everything from Kansas City barbecue, figuring out the difference between Kansas City, Kansas, and I guess Kansas City, Missouri, because they're kind of like, oh, no, we're in Missouri now. And then the next thing you know, they're talking to somebody like, no, we're in Kansas. And then the next thing, this is Missouri. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like, no, Kansas is across the street.
Across the street is Kansas. Yeah. Right now we're in Missouri or Missouri. But they start eating barbecue and poor Higgins can't even talk because he's just got the bone in his mouth, like rub, 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 rub. He can barely talk. You have where Rebecca keeps spilling stuff on her shirt. So every shirt, anytime she's eating anything in America, she gets something on her shirt. Sounds like mom. Shout out mom.
Yeah, shout out to mom.
And then Keely's she's so like bubbly and happy and everything's always so wonderful and perfect in the world. So she's just excited, just pretty much excited for everything, to include they went to Henry's soccer game. She's excited, and they also were wondering why Ted wouldn't be coaching Henry's soccer game, because you are a soccer coach, like a coach's coach. So why wouldn't you be coaching it? And he's like, the kid and the soccer and, I guess leading your own child can get a little challenging. Yeah. And so the reason that they're there, because he's like, well, I know y'all have to be here for a reason. You're not just coming to hang out with little old me. And so they said, well, actually, we're here because we are going to have a female football team. And because of that, we knew that there was a place here that had X, Y, and Z. So they're just kind of coming and scouting out the female side of everything. And so he was like, uh-huh. And then they were like, plus we would like you to coach the female team. Mm-hmm. And so he says he really has some things to think about because he's now with his son. Like he's lost a lot of time with his son being over in England. Now his son got in trouble at school, but not really, And then also it's like, how much more of his son's life would he want to miss, So he's trying to figure all this out. And people are like, well, do you want to do it? Do you not? And he's really tormented. And so he makes a decision by the end of the first episode, which there probably wouldn't be a season if we didn't have a decision of where he was going to go and what he was going to do. But
also, I think that a lot of them are just being like, yo, so like you're just content with working at a grocery store. It's like, but your kid is like not really happy with you because you're content with working at a grocery store.
Yeah,
right? Exactly. Like you had a life and now you're just a worker.
Yeah, I think his mom really made that kind of clear when she was like, he said, y'all never asked me about my job. And what would you ask, right? About him? Like, and with soccer, it's like you used to, but y'all have stopped. And it's like, yeah, because if you don't care about your job, why should we care to even ask you about your job? And he was like, huh? So I guess he wasn't realizing that he was putting across this energy, out there to say, hey, I'm happy. You see me happy. I'm happy just, checking people out. But you could tell something was missing. And so now with this opportunity, although he would love to do it, it's like, I don't want to be that absent father for my son. So, it's only one episode in, so it's not much to spoil, but let's just say that Henry was totally okay with his dad going to London. Like he did not have concern. You thought he did initially because he was looking at him like, wait, what? They're here because they want to offer you a job. And he was like, getting a little nervous about it. But I think even Henry realized, now my father, he's missing something by not participating in this. So Higgins, he gets the opportunity to go to a Negro League baseball museum, and so he learns that information and culture. He was planning to go to look at the jazz side of the museum. But it was closed for a personal function. So the guy standing there was like, oh, so you don't want to, find this out. And it was funny because everything Higgins couldn't say anything right because was making him sound like he was just this older white guy who could care less about Black people or Black things. And that wasn't his intention, but it was just like, yeah, give me a ticket, because if I keep going down this path, I'm just going to say something even more horrible. And by the end of the episode, like, he's got on a Negro League jersey, like he's just wearing stuff everywhere. And so he really got, great understanding, and it helped him to understand too, like, the barriers that the players had to go through and go beyond, and him realizing, like, it's the same as, and he kind of explained it this way. And the guy was like, well, not really the same. But he's like, but it does make me realize, like, they weren't even able to have women play soccer. Like, we're going to have a whole women's soccer team. They couldn't even play soccer until the 2000s. Yeah. And so it's like, so now as being able to do this, it's the same type of barriers that people have had against them that they're trying to overcome. It's just different time frames and different severities to it, right? And so then what else did they, and then the other experience that they had in this first episode was Keely and Rebecca going to all of these, like, bedazzled places. So, like,
bedazzle memoir.
Bedazzle me. What was it?
Well, I think it was like bedazzle memoir or something like that.
Bedazzle me do or something. Oh no, bedazzle moi. I think it was bedazzle moi or bedazzle something moi. And so that thing was crazy because, like, even Rebecca picked up something and she was like, who the heck would even wear something with this? Like, it's so gaudy, like, this looks terrible. And the woman whips around the corner with all her bejewels on. Yeah. And so she was like, oh my God, I hope she didn't hear me. Like, and lo and behold, who ends up buying an outfit that I wondered if she saw what was on the back of it. Like, did she ever see what was on the back?
I think that she did, but the way that it was cut and fit her in the front, amazing. Yeah. The back, the bedazzled Phoenix, a lot. But I like when they were in the airport or something like that, and she says, Higgins, what do you have on? He said, what do you have on? She said, oh yeah, touche.
Yeah, I think it was when they were getting ready to go. I think they were walking into the stadium for a game that they were going to see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were going to see something.
So it was funny. But yeah, so long story short, I really enjoyed it, but it could just be the nostalgia of Ted Lasso coming back. I don't know. But I am here for it. I'm going to watch every episode. I'm excited about it. And we'll see.
That last season was supposed to be the last season, right?
The last season was supposed to be the last season. Season 3 was it. They had finalized everything. He was moving back to America. That was going to be it. But I think by popular demand, they were like, all right, can we get the crew back and do another?
I love how they started it off. Did you see the beginning where when they were showing how, like, oh my God, Ted, he's back. Like, oh my God, he's back. And Ted is just in everything. Like, he's in the elevator with somebody from what is that show? Sir.
Well, see, but I thought that was an Apple TV insert.
I think it is. But, I mean, it was. But I just loved how they showed that, and then it's like, but he's back. He's back.
Because they went into all the shows, the morning show. What is the other one that's really popular on there? Succession or something. Like, it was all the different shows.
Whatever the one is where they're all working in the building and they can't get out of the building.
Oh, that's Severance.
Severance, yeah, I was about to say Surveillance.
Severance, and Severance. The morning show, Silo.
Everything. He's popped up in every single thing. And I thought, this is amazing how they did this.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, all right. So on that note, Ted Lasso, if you have never watched Ted Lasso, shame on you.
Yeah, you're missing out on a feel-good opportunity of a lifetime.
It is literally the best feel-good show I have ever watched, and I have not found one person who has watched Ted Lasso and not liked it.
Yes.
So I would say Ted Lasso is your next binge watch. You're welcome.
Funniest thing, I have a guy who I work with whose name is Troy, and he has the Roy Kent walk. Like he walks with his chest out and like his head up and everything. So I call him Roy because the T is silent. Yeah. I'm like, Roy. Horrible. And they're like, his name is Troy. I said, no, the T is silent.
Yeah. For you can't say that for everybody. Everybody will start calling him Roy.
Oh, no, it's funny. He'll love it.
Oh, gosh. And so has he ever watched Ted Lasso?
He has.
Okay. So he gets it. He gets it.
He gets it. Absolutely. And my supervisor was like, if you are telling the truth, he got the Roy who can't walk.
Roy Kent.
That's what I did. As soon as he started walking back towards the building, I was like, he's something. He did. Roy Kent. And he just stops and starts busting out laughing. It's hilarious.
I love it. All right. I will move on to the next thing. But so that is Ted Lasso season 4 on Apple TV. Okay. What you got?
I want to talk about the movie that I thought was going to be hilarious, funny, outstanding cast, amazing. And it was not. It was highly disappointing. I was very sad. So I'm going to talk about 72 Hours. A new Kevin Hart movie that is on Netflix.
Yep.
It was just disappointing.
Okay.
I feel like it could have been an amazing movie if the writers were different. But I'll get into it. So what you have is the cast. You have Kevin Hart as Joe. You have Marcelo Hernandez as Nick. You have Mason Gooding as Mason. You have Cam Patterson as Freshman, which that's his nickname on it. You have Ben Marshall as Hunter. You have Zach Cherry as Barry. You have Teyana Taylor as Jennifer, who is actually Kevin Hart's love interest. And you have Michael Mando, who plays Jaze, Jaze. Mm-hmm. And you also have the best Latin actor, Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia. Yeah, so you also have Andy Garcia in the movie as a drug lord, but he just pops up out of nowhere. You do have some cameos of, like he has a cameo. You have Mike Epps that has a cameo, and you have Cat Williams that have cameos in this movie. You do see, and
now that makes sense as to why Cat was at his roast. They had already worked together. But nobody knew it. Nobody knew it, right? And then also Teyana Taylor. Nobody knew it. Because I was like, how is Teyana Taylor showing? She just got on the scene. What's she doing? Yeah. You're roasting Kevin, but now I know why. Okay.
But yeah, so he is a 40-year-old, he is a, what is it called? A marketing executive.
Okay.
Now, he's supposed to market this alcohol to Gen Z. And he's like, bet this bottle has the Riz, Ultimate has the Riz. And he's like putting in all these words and just trying to like shove in everything that has to do with Gen Z. And the guy who is the head of the marketing department, who is actually Kevin Dunn, he's like, that was total crap. What is that? He was like, you know what? Actually, Joe, I think that you have gotten too old for this, and we now have to give it to somebody younger. And the younger dude is like sitting there. He was like, yeah, that was like very, what did he say? Not cryptic, but I don't even care remember what the word was. But it was very yeah, it was, he was like, that was very cringe. Like,
cringe. And that's the word I was thinking when you were saying it. I was thinking, oh, that sounds cringe.
And then he just like on his phone the whole time while this whole marketing stage, like that was so cringe and just go off on it. And he was like, I could do a better job with that like right now. So now Joe is worried about his job. Now, as he's worried about his job, he's talking to his, I guess it's his assistant, Barry. But yeah, so he's talking to Barry and he's like, Barry, like, I gotta figure out something to make sure that this is gonna be good. Like I need to make sure that they can still see that I can reach all of the people. And while this is happening, his phone is just buzzing. Barry's like, bro, what is going on with your phone? He was like, oh, some kids invited me to a bachelor party. He was like, somehow I'm in a group text and I don't even know who these kids are. So he's like looking at the stuff for the bachelor party. And he's just like, he reached out to him. He was like, hey guys, I think y'all have the wrong number, but enjoy the bachelor party. Here's $200, drinks on me. The guys are like, you should come, like blah, 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 blah. So then they start calling him a woman's reproductive system. They also start basically just calling him out, saying like, you wouldn't show up, blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, okay, I'll do y'all one better. I am going to come, I will get a different Airbnb because y'all have this small one and it looks like it's in the hood somewhere. And I'm going to get this massive mansion, nice Airbnb. I'll front that. We can go out and do a whole bunch of different stuff, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, oh, this is awesome. So he's now meeting up with them and they're just like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Like, are you going to drug us and rape us or something? Like, what do you want with us? Like, because no means no. And they were like, he's like, no. I was just saying, like, I still got it. I can still hang out with the best of the young guys, blah, 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 blah. But all the time he's thinking, I need to hang out with these young people so I can understand them. So, and then that way I can do better with me doing my marketing. It has funny moments, but the funny moments it is one of those, I don't know, it's kind of like a high school movie. You know how like people, like older people will watch a high school movie and be like, yeah, whatever. But a teenager will be like, that movie was so awesome. It was so funny.
So have you aged out of it? So do you think that somebody younger watching it would be like, oh my God, it was hilarious, and we've aged out?
Maybe not. It's hard to say because I did see some funny parts of it, but then it's like, this is a predictable movie because it's the same thing that's happened in other movies. It's happened in other movies. It's happened in other movies. Like
yeah, haven't seen those movies. We have.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean,
I'm just joking.
Yeah, you're right. But it's like the whole hip scene happens where his whole side of his face is swollen and he has to have some kind of Benadryl or whatever.
When you watch Hitch, I guarantee you that.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but like, it's different things. And I'm just like, this could have been funnier if this had happened instead of this, or this could have been funnier if this would happen instead of this. Everything was very predictable. And a lot of the reviews that I saw was like, some people probably like in their mid-20s to late 30s being like, I mean, it was disappointing for me. Like I completely feel that because it was just like, man, you had an all-star cast. Cam Henderson should have done so much more in the movie.
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious, but they didn't really let him talk that much.
Really?
He did not talk that much in the movie.
He's like the new Kevin Hart, it feels like to me.
He is hilarious. Marcelo is great at acting. I think Marcelo is going to be a fantastic actor. And if he ever does his own production company, it will be amazing.
Is he the one that's on SNL?
Yes, all of them are on SNL.
Oh, all of them?
Except for the guy Mason.
Okay.
The guy Mason, who is supposed to be his bachelor party, he is not on SNL.
Okay.
The tall, skinny, redhead guy.
Yeah,
on SNL.
I remember him from SNL.
Yeah, he plays Mr. Beast and on SNL. That's like his character that he plays. But
really?
Yeah.
I paid attention to that. Okay.
Yeah, he sounds like him. It's so funny. He's like, today we're going to blah 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 blah, and it's great. But he is a good actor, and how he's a good actor with being an awkward person.
Yeah.
But
And
I
he
feel
was a
like,
writer too on there, right?
yeah, and I feel like he is probably an awkward person who's coming out of his shell because he knows that how to be an awkward person. But yeah, I feel like they missed the opportunity by not having Cam have a lot of lines. They kept calling him freshman. They were basically making Cam the stupid guy who was actually super smart.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then Marcelo is the guy who put everything together, but he's still kind of like immature and like we're still like hanging out and being bros and stuff like that. But he's not working. He's not doing anything. He's still trying to hold on to that young part of himself. But all in all, I don't know. I was disappointed. There's some funny parts in it. The whole thing about with Cat Williams in it, I was like, this didn't even have to be in the movie.
They probably just did it for the shock effect of Cat Williams and him being together because everybody knew what Cat Williams said about him in 2024 or whatever. So
yeah, but yeah, Cat Williams really didn't have to be in the movie. If he wasn't in the movie, it would have been actually fine. But because because of the cameos that he had in there of people, it was like he was trying to do an Adam Sandler movie, but he's not Adam Sandler. You know how Adam Sandler does movies and he always has cameos of people that just pop up everywhere? But he didn't have that. He didn't have the storyline of why.
And was it his story? Like, was he the person who wrote it or directed it or pushed it to get greenlit? Or was this an SNL thing? And they were like, it'd be great if we got Kevin Hart to do it.
I don't know. Let me look at that really quick.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I wasn't putting together that he was running it, but maybe he was. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many SNL people on there. I would think if he were running it, he would pick other people.
Oh yeah, there's 4 people who wrote it, and none of them don't know any of them.
Okay.
Nor do the director Tim Story. I don't know who he is, but he's done a lot of stuff. He's done Fantastic Four, The Blackening, Think Like a Man, Barbershop, The Pickup. Yeah, he's like Shaft, everything. He's done a lot of things.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It was just maybe this could have been a movie that could have been a different cast, and it still would have gotten the same amount of watch, probably like the same amount of disappointment.
Even if it wasn't that,
I wouldn't have disappointed if there was a whole bunch of people in there that I didn't really know.
Got it. Yep, because the all-star cast is the part that got you. Like
exactly. And I hate movies like that when it's an all-star cast.
They're never good.
You see clips of the trailer, and then you're like, oh man, that's going to be good. And you watch it, and every clip that's in the trailer is the best parts of the movie.
That's how they always do it with the all-star cast. It's like watching all of those movies. I forgot what the guy's name was. I feel like it's somebody Hughes actually that used to make all those movies, and it would be like Valentine's Day or whatever. Hughes. John Hughes, yeah, and it would be all of the people you'd have, you know, Vince Vaughn and Julia Roberts and Reese Witherspoon and this one, and you just have this one, this and this, and it's like every single person in there is like a phenomenal actor or actress, and yet you watch it and you're like, womp womp.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely like that. So my thing is, watch it, but don't have the highest expectations for it. But then also it could be that some people might watch it and be like, oh my God, this was hilarious. But I don't think it was as funny as it could have been. There are the moments where it's, sentimental moments. There are some moments that are sad. There are some moments where you're like, why did you even do that? And there's some moments that are genuinely funny. Yeah. When they're just like, yeah, he's with us. Like Cam said, yeah, he's with us, but then he threw up on us. So he's like our friend, but older. So he's like our dad. And he was like, why would you say that? Because they were trying to say that they were part of like a prostitution ring. And he was,
got it with him. Got it. Oh gosh. Like, yeah, it's too much. But yeah, so
check it out. 72 hours on Netflix. Watch it or not.
Watch it or not, people. Okay. So I guess I said I was going to talk about Ride or Die. So let's
Ride
talk
or
about
Die.
Ride or Die. Ride or Die is on Prime, and it involves. Oh, say that again.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something. Yeah, it has again Hannah Waddingham as Judith on this one, so she's on a little bit of everything. You know, here we were just thinking she was going around swinging that bell, saying "shame, shame" on Game of Thrones, and she's on everything.
Oh no, she's been singing on Broadway and all this other
she
stuff.
sings, she dances, she's a triple threat. She does it all. So yeah, she's a sharpshooter, obviously on this show. So you know, Ride or Die. Some people died. So you have Octavia Spencer, and she plays Debbie. So you have Judith and Debbie, and they're besties. They're best friends. You have somebody that they meet along the journey called Billy. That's played by Ed Skrin. That's how you think say it. SKR. Okay. I was like, how do you say SKR? You have who else is the main people that you need to know about? It's kind of just the two of them and her husband. Maybe.
Yeah, the two of them, her husband. And the guy from off of Game of Thrones that was the original guy who Khaleesi was with. The guy with the love interest for Hannah.
The love interest for Hannah. Yes, I already mentioned him.
Oh, you did mention him. Okay.
That was Billy, right?
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, that was Billy. And then, well, any potential love interest, let's say, because you know, flirty interest. And then you have the director. The director is somebody to know about. That's Bill Nighy. And you have when I say the husband, I'm talking about Octavia Spencer or Debbie's husband, and her husband's name is David, played by Jamie Parker. So if we start there, basically what you have, like from the beginning, you just know that, you know, Judith is a bad mamma jamma. She is an assassin. And she goes around all over the world and takes people out. That's the best way to describe it. What's so funny is that I have a friend, shout out Baby Bones, who I said, you know, if this show was real and like how, you know, Debbie didn't know that Judith was an assassin, I could possibly believe that about you.
Absolutely. I could see it. Toby going around taking people out and just being like, oh yeah, I just went to the aquarium. That's all.
Yeah, I just went to the aquarium and came back. Oh, I just had to take a quick trip up to New York and I'm back, which she does sometimes. And so anyway, I'm just like, I said, and look, you like, what are they, katanas? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
And then, she's different. So anyway, but I love it about her. So I said, look, just let us know. Like we'll keep your secret if you are a secret assassin. And she just busted out laughing. So anyway, but Debbie doesn't know that her bestie is an assassin. That's the issue. So when Judith is out, she's doing whatever she needs to do. And Debbie just thinks her bestie is an accountant. She's a person who goes around and does like forensic accounting, which is kind of funny because wasn't that the name of the Ben Affleck movie, The Accountant? Where he was.
What is a forensic accountant?
Where you go and I think you just totally dissect and analyze like the accounting of different, I don't know. We'll look at it.
Okay. Yeah, all right, cool.
GPT.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so she's like an accountant's accountant. Maybe she goes in and divulges and gets into, I think that's what it is. So if, for example, somebody has stole something, embezzlement or whatever, then you have that accountant that goes in and tries to figure out, okay, where did all these things go wrong? I think that's a forensic accountant, but we could be wrong. So anyway, so she thinks her friend's an accountant. So, numbers lady. And so what she realizes throughout the show is they're at this event. And number one, Judith is there on a mission. She's there on an assignment. Whereas Debbie is there with her husband because her husband is wanting to, I guess, run for office and do something. It's all in London. So like with the prime minister and all of this kind of stuff. And so if he gets this newer position, then he'll have a little more power. And Debbie's kind of just put all her hopes and dreams to the side to really make sure that everything can come to fruition for David. And so what she realizes at this event is that David wants a divorce. And she's like, say, who now? Say what? Say
It was literally like waiting to exhale.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, so I'm getting ready for this thing, and now you want to tell me that you were leaving me?
Yep.
And we about to walk inside?
Yeah. I don't get that part.
Yeah.
We're gonna start singing the song. But yeah, so that's basically it. They're sitting in the car, they're getting ready to go inside, and he's like, yeah, so you're asking me a lot of questions, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah, I want a divorce. And she's can't believe it. So they go into this party. She gets kind of wasted because she's like, why not? What else I don't have anything to lose. And then Hannah is there because she's trying to take out somebody. But then when she goes to the room of this person she wants to take out, guess what? Everybody already took out, including David. So she's just like, oh my God, my friend's here. Her husband's took out. What's going on? So now she has to get to her friend and protect her friend, which her friend is drunk, but still wondering like, who are you? Why are you dragging me all around? Why are you taking me to the kitchen? Why are you? And she's just telling the whole story. It's kind of funny because like Debbie's just telling the story. Yeah. And can you believe he said this? And the whole time Hannah's like, okay. And she's like moving her along and everything. And Debbie's just la, 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 having her story. And then she's like putting her into like a kitchen freezer or something. I don't know what it was. You're muted. I can't hear you. You're muted. Yeah.
She put it into her storage thing, and she was like, and then can you? And then closes the door, and then she's out there fighting, and then opens the door. A divorce? Can you believe he wants to divorce me? She's just pulling her all around.
It is hilarious. And so eventually, at some point, Debbie puts together that her dear friend is an assassin. Oh, and they're driving, people shooting at the car. Like, it's a crazy town. Yeah, and she's like, but why are they shooting at an accountant? It's like, what's going on? And so then they start on this journey, basically. And it was just a fun ride. I really, really enjoyed it. It was so much of Debbie discovering herself because now she's in this different mindset than being this wife and this person who has to take care of her husband because he was kind of like a fumbling idiot in a little bit of, well, in a lot of senses. Yeah. He didn't make the best decisions. And that's why he ended up supposedly took him out. And then you have where, she's realizing like, well, who am I? What did I give up? Because she was going to law school when she met him. And then it became like just experiencing and exploring and all of these things. And then occasionally even she surprised Hannah, who's the assassin, in regards to what she would say, like, look, we can do this job. We can take care of this. She's like, well, you want to do a job? Like, what are we talking about here? And then Hannah is also discovering a lot about herself because I think she has been so much in assassin mode that she shut herself down to everything and everyone. And as an assassin, you're not supposed to have any friends anyway. And so then it becomes that, well, Debbie is a friend of hers. And so it's this whole storyline to it. But is she a friend? Is she your cover? Like, how does all of this actually work when if you're an assassin and you have a friend and people want to get to you, they'll get to her? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So you obviously must not really care about her. And so it's a lot of ebbs and flows, a lot of ups and downs. Hannah also hadn't opened herself up to relationships. She's been with people, but not in this perspective of like seeing a future with people.
I like how Debbie was just, all the guys were just like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, you wanna go take a shower together? Hey, you wanna do this? Yeah. She's like, wait, no. And this thing was just like, actually, she's like, I'm in the South of France. Actually, why not? You only live once. My man's
right. So it was really, really cute. Yes, there was a lot of blood and gore and all of those things. But so if that bothers you, it's few and far between. That's all I'll say. Like, I don't think that it's enough to make it so that people should not watch it. I know another friend of ours, because I've watched it and Baby Bones watched it. And so then we were trying to talk to Janella and say, you need to watch it. We think you'd really like it because it's kind of funny and it's, cute. And she's like, I watch Home and Garden TV and I'll watch, just like a few reality shows or something, but it's nothing. I can't remember. And she's going to watch this because she watches these things all the time and she listens to our podcast. But she was just like, I don't know about this. And we were trying to talk her into, no, it's going to be
not into action.
It's not a lot. It's more action than it is violence and gore, but there are occasional scenes of violence and gore because she's an assassin. And the other part to this is that there's a different assassin who comes into play. And so then there's a whole lot of back and forth of these two people and what is the dynamic between them and why do they hate each other? So
it's like the ladies' version of Jason Bourne. The Bourne Identity. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. And shout out to Mom. Actually, shout out to Mom because Mom was the one who told me about it.
Did she?
Mom was like, "What's the name of the movie with the lady?" And she's like, "You got to eat the poop in the pie." And I was like, "The hell?" She was like, "Yeah, she in that movie." So that lady, and she was like, "What's her name? Viola?" I said, "No,
that's Viola. Octavia.
Like, this is Octavia." She was like, "Yeah, her." And then a tall, pretty white lady, like a very statuesque white lady. And I was like, okay. So then I go and look and I said, oh, this is what Mom was talking about. She said, yes, a TV show. I said,
okay. I did
Shout out to Mom for that. Yes.
I did not know she watched it, but I was telling her I was watching it. So I wonder if she watched it because I watched it. I don't know. That's a good question.
She told me about it. I guess the day that it came out, she started watching it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, but I really enjoyed it. And most of you will probably enjoy it as well. So give it a try. Why not? So it is called Ride or Die. I think it's 8 episodes, really good, left in a way in which you would definitely think if it does well, that they will have a season 2. So.
Exactly.
Yep. And on that note, I think we are at time. Anything small or short that you want to talk about, Sestra?
I want to do a little honorable mention. So I was with Queen. Shout out to Queen.
Shout out Queen.
And we were watching a movie, and she was like, "You'll probably like this movie. It's a feel-good movie." And I was like, "All right." And it was the movie that I remember watching when I was younger. It came out in 1999. It was called The Other Sister. I don't know if you remember this, but Juliette Lewis plays somebody with a mental disability.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Diane Keaton is her mother, and then Tom Skerritt is her father. You got Poppy Montgomery and Sarah Paulson's being her sister, and then Juliette Mills plays her housekeeper.
I remember this movie.
Yeah, and then you have Giovanni Robosi is Danny, who is the love interest for Carla. But basically, it's just somebody who has a mental disability who now has become an adult and can see, hey, like, is now the family seeing that this person can go to school by themselves, they can live on their own, they can do everything for themselves. And the parents basically letting go of the reins.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody having this person's back and being like, Carla at one time, it was like, hey, Mom, did you see that I cleaned the house? Did you see that I did this? And I got this done and I did this. And, she's telling her mom that. She was like, yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you did that. And she was like, yeah, so I could live on my own. She was like, no. This is the only movie that I did not like Diane Keaton in.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
Diane Keaton, I was like, I love her and everything, but now I don't like her trying to stop her daughter from being herself. Like,
being on her own. Come on.
Yeah, but it's not even her being on her own. But if you know that your daughter has a mental disability and then you're going to take her to things, you can't get mad at her when she sees a dog and she's going and playing with the dog while somebody's giving a speech. You already know that she's going to do this because her mental capabilities are that of a younger person. So it's like, don't go off on your child because your child is different. You already know your child is differently abled. Right. And you want to make them disabled in life by just keeping them shut in. So it's a great, really good feel-good movie. Like I said, it's called The Other Sister. If you want to check that out, something just to watch that's older, just a little nostalgia.
Love it. All right. Sounds good. So on that note, I think that's everything this week, you all, for Sestra-Tainment. Have a great rest of your week. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk soon. Bye.